Thank you, Deputy. First of all, can I thank Sinn Féin for bringing forward this motion on housing. And it is, at the very least, interesting to note that Sinn Féin calls for a radical reset of government housing policy, which is the exact same call made by the Housing Commission in its report. This was a body, an independent body, set up by government to look at housing policy, and it also has called for a radical strategic reset of housing policy. And it states there is an underlying housing deficit in Ireland of 256,000 homes. That underlying deficit of 256,000 homes, Minister, that's a shocking figure. And blame must be laid at the door of those who have been in power for the last 20 years. There's no getting away from this. There is no sugarcoating it. And while there are new pressures on the housing market, nonetheless, the deficit in homes for families and individuals is a national disgrace. Now, Minister, I do understand that some progress is being made, but the report, which is not available to read in its entirety, all we have is a report from RTE today, but this says that emergency delivery is needed to meet this deficit. And Minister, I don't see that. Yes, there is progress, but we will be forever playing catch-up. In fact, we will never catch up. We'll just continue to fall further behind. One of the recommendations in the report is the need to establish a housing delivery oversight executive, which it says would drive coordination across legislation, regulation and administrative practices. To me, this makes real sense, because the absolute urgency of the situation and the need for all the different systems to work together so that the system will deliver the maximum possible number of homes in the shortest possible time frame. It's like a complicated set of levers. In order to work at maximum efficiency, precision, timing and above all else, coordination is vital to deliver best outcomes. We also hear, according to this report, that in comparison to our European partners, we have one of the highest levels of public expenditure for housing, yet one of the poorest outcomes. I mean, that situation in itself is proof positive that we need that level of coordination, and that along with healthcare, housing and healthcare have to be the highest priority, and emergency action needs to be taken on behalf of government, and it needs to be led by the Taoiseach, because nothing else will do at this stage. Minister, I would ask that even at this late stage, the government would move swiftly to make the necessary changes and implement the most important recommendations from this report. Now, in my short few minutes, Minister, I want to highlight a very important issue in regard to the construction of homes, and that refers to where they are built, as well as the fact that they are not being built. Now, I've raised this issue in the Dáil a few weeks back, where I highlighted the regional imbalance in housing completions. And according to the CSO report on new housing completions for 2023, the northern and western region, with 17% of the population, had only 11% of the housing completions. So it's not only is this government failing on delivering new homes, the situation is even worse in the regions. And it's no wonder that the most recent RTB report showed skyrocketing increases in rents for counties like Sligo, Leitrim, Roscommon and Donegal, because we do not have supply. I'll leave it at that.